Hey everybody, it's Shaman Sister Sin, and you're listening to the Meditations and More podcast brought to you by BetterHelp.com and LittleShaman.org. That's me, Little Shaman. Today I wanted to talk to you about something that virtually everybody dealing with narcissists encounters, and that is that narcissists objectify other people. Pathologically narcissistic people seem to view all people as objects that can be controlled, used, stolen, bought, sold, won, and owned, including themselves. They don't appear to understand any human beings as complete sovereign individuals with all their own needs, wants, feelings, beliefs, preferences, or anything else. We often hear people say that narcissists don't care about these things, and that's very true, but it's also too simple of an explanation in some ways. For narcissists, not acknowledging the feelings, needs, or wants of others goes beyond not caring, into a space of not even seeing these things. This is not about ignorance per se, because ignorance can usually be rectified with education. This is about an inability to see. They don't know that they don't care, and they don't care that they don't know. To decide not to care about something requires actually being able to acknowledge its existence in the first place. You can't really say someone doesn't care about something if they're not even really aware that it exists. Many people believe that just telling narcissists other people have feelings should be enough. It's not. Narcissists may know that people have feelings the same way they know a car has an engine or a clock has hands, but this knowledge doesn't mean anything to them. It's academic information only, a factoid that is divorced from any true or deeper meaning. It's true for themselves too, in many ways. Many narcissists are completely out of touch with their own needs, wants, beliefs, feelings, and everything else about themselves. They're just walking around the world doing things and reacting to stuff without knowing why or caring. They're on automatic pilot, repeating the same patterns and sequences and acting out the same melodramatic scenes over and over again throughout their lives. They often genuinely have no idea why they do things and legitimately no interest in finding out. It just doesn't seem to matter. Many even seem afraid of trying to figure these things out. People sometimes think that narcissists must be able to understand the feelings, wants, needs, and beliefs of others if they can use them against you to upset you or manipulate you or create positive feelings in you. But the reality is that even a child of 5 or 6 can tell you what to do to make people like you or make them not like you, or how to hurt somebody's feelings or get them to do what you want. It's not some secret power that narcissists have. It's not magic, and it requires no special skill or intelligence at all. Narcissists have learned what buttons to push to get what they want, and to assume they understand how this works on any real level may be giving many of them more credit than they really deserve. It's just really not that difficult to do. Even kids can do it, and it can be done very successfully by people who have no understanding of how it works at all. The only quote-unquote skill they truly need is a willingness to do it. The reason it's so effective is because you're actually fighting yourself. You're fighting your own feelings of guilt and shame, or to hold on to your own fantasy, or against your own cognitive dissonance. Narcissists simply repeat what you've said to them in many situations, and if it's effective for them, meaning if it leads to the result they wanted, they will keep repeating it. It's often not really more complicated than that. That's why if you stop reacting to the thing that they always go to in order to upset or attack you, often they just drop it and move on to something else that might work. They use the reactions of other people to see themselves. And if you show them that the weapon they are trying to use against you has no power, and therefore neither do they by using it, often they just abandon it in favor of something else. This is sometimes how things can escalate to physical violence, by the way. They are desperate to see themselves as important, as powerful, and as in control. In this same vein, narcissists are looking for a mirror and an accessory, not a person. They want someone who makes them look a certain way and someone who reflects an acceptable image of themselves back to them. Acceptable in this context doesn't always mean something we would see as positive either. It can be anything that lines up with what they perceive as powerful. For example, if a narcissist believes there's power in being seen as intimidating, they may attempt to scare other people. If they believe there's power in being seen as intelligent, they may attempt to make other people look or feel stupid. It's not about what other people think or believe in the end. It's about them only and always. This is why using other people as mirrors is an ultimately frustrating and disappointing experience for them. If they actually legitimately cared what other people thought of them, it might work out better, but they don't. They care how others can be used to make them feel about themselves, and that's not the same thing. Other people in these relationships are merely props to make the performance more believable and mirrors to reflect this performance to the only audience that matters, the narcissistic person themselves. The narcissist's entire life is a performance of one, for one, by one. This is extremely important to understand because it's the core of any relationship with any pathologically narcissistic person, and it's why these relationships do not work. Narcissists simply don't understand that other people are people in any real way. Other people are simultaneously the hat that the narcissist puts on and the mirror that the narcissist looks at in order to judge how they look in that same hat. Other people don't exist or matter in any real way. However, interestingly enough, the narcissist's view of people as objects does not only extend to others. As we said, it includes themselves as well. This is why so many narcissists are so paranoid about being controlled and manipulated, and why so many of them seem to legitimately believe they have no power at all. Everything is somebody else's fault or somebody else's responsibility. Even narcissists who are grandiose, who claim to be so omnipotent and powerful, generally take responsibility for nothing. There are a lot of people who resist the idea that narcissists see others as objects. They insist that other people are important to narcissists, and this is true, but not for the reason that many people seem to think. People are important to narcissists because they are used as objects, not because they are people who matter. It's also a popular theory that narcissists personally target specific people for their specialness and enjoy orchestrating their suffering. As hurtful as that usually is to believe, it's perhaps less hurtful to think that than it is to understand that you really don't matter at all. The narcissist literally does not even see you as a person, and in reality, you matter less than their favorite shirt. It may even be true that they're targeting you and or enjoying your suffering, but it still doesn't mean you matter to the narcissist as a person, as you. You don't. You could be anybody or nobody. It's all the same. This theory appears to lack true understanding of the extreme depth of the selfishness and the total egocentricity of the narcissistic personality. Other people do not exist to these personalities. They don't see you. They never knew you. They don't care. The true target of their behavior at every and any time is themselves and making themselves feel better. If they hurt you to help themselves, that doesn't mean you matter. In fact, it proves that you don't. You are a tool for a job, like using a hammer to pound in a nail. Does this affect the hammer in some way? I don't know. I never thought about it. Why would I? Who cares? If it breaks, I'll get another one. This is what seeing people as objects looks like. Your reaction is what narcissists are after, and they're after it because of how it makes them feel. How it feels to you, or how it affects you, is not something these people even really see, let alone understand, consider, or care about. Your reaction is not understood as being attached to an actual emotion or as something that affects you in any way. It is interpreted solely through the lens of how it affects them. That is just one of the reasons narcissists are so dangerous. This is usually very difficult for people with empathy to understand. For you, considering the feelings and experiences of other people is second nature. You couldn't stop doing that if you tried, probably. It's very easy to make the mistake of assuming everyone is like that, but think of all the times the narcissistic person in your life had to be reminded to consider other people's feelings, of all the times they legitimately did not seem to understand that other people even have feelings or needs. Think of all the times you had to explain basic respect, consideration, and decency to this adult human being. No one is that good of an actor. These personalities are genuinely shocked and confused when you remind them that other people exist in this way. They don't recognize this fact or care. Watch their eyes when you try to point it out. It does not compute for them in any real way. You might as well be speaking in a foreign language. This is something you can literally see if you're paying attention. They do not get it. It's very easy to call narcissists evil or paint them with a brush of personally motivated destruction. It makes people feel better. It soothes people's egos. It's very likely even true for some narcissists or in some situations. However, the overall reality of what's underneath their behavior seems to be much more sinister even than that. They don't see your specialness or your light because they don't see you at all. They will take whatever they can from whoever is available to give it to them because to them, everyone is an object to use for whatever they can get. It's not personal because you're not a person to them. You're a tool for a job, and that's it. I hope this clears a few things up for you. As always, I look forward to your comments, questions, and suggestions, so please keep those coming. I take appointments online, over the phone, via text, via messenger, via email, and through Skype worldwide. So if you're interested in speaking with me one-on-one, you can visit littleshaman.org to do that. I teach workshops, clinics, and seminars throughout the year, so if you're interested in seeing what we're offering this month, you can visit littleshaman.org to do that. And if you're interested in joining our support group with multiple monthly meetings, access to exclusive content, group chats, and more, you can visit littleshaman.org to do that as well. You've been listening to the Meditations and More podcast brought to you by BetterHelp.com and littleshaman.org. That's me, Little Shaman. May the Great Spirit bless you. Have a beautiful day.